Tonight on Alaska's news source, Iditarod 2026 has come to an end. We learn about the Red Lantern and why making it to Nome was so important for the musher who claimed the honor.
And sunny skies are kicking off the spring season for most of the state as Southeast continues the battle for the snowiest season on record.
Plus, making art to raise money. We take you to Fairbanks as the food bank gets ready for this year's Empty Bowls event.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
We have our Red Lantern finisher.
The final musher running in this year's Iditarod has passed under the burled arch in Nome last night, marking an official end to the race. Charlie Fellows shows us the Red Lantern and the man who got to extinguish it.
Cantwell musher Richie Beatty rode into Nome just before 8 p.m. Friday evening as the 29th and final finisher of Iditarod 54, giving him the honor of performing a storied race tradition.
We have the widow's lamp, and we would request that you extinguish it for us.
Oh, I'd love to.
To signify that all mushers have now safely come off of our trail. Congratulations.
The rookie Iditarod finisher receiving the Red Lantern Award, given yearly to the final musher off the trail.
It was cool to kind of be the conclusion. I don't feel bad at all, but I was actually really stoked. Red Lantern was, it was cool.
The award is an acknowledgement that just finishing the race at all is an achievement unto itself, and every last musher overcomes their own challenges to do so. For Beatty, it was a priority.
I don't think anybody else had it in their mind that they were trying to get the Red Lantern, but I definitely was. Like, if I had encountered another team along the way up ahead of me, I would have stopped and taken a break.
For Beatty in particular, the recognition meant a lot. He did finish the Iditarod in 2019, even winning Rookie of the Year, but had his finish stripped due to one of his dogs dying from pneumonia.
And so coming into this race I ran for her memory. And it was of the utmost importance to me that I finished this race with a team that was really healthy and really strong. And that was my entire motivation. And we pulled that off, sure, very back of the pack. But like I said, I don't care.
Yeah. My dog team looks awesome. Look at them. They can keep going.
Endurance and dedication rewarded.
And congratulations and welcome to Nome.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's awesome.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
And in the interior, another type of mushing race is underway. Since the 1940s, the Open North American Championship has been a major race in the sprint mushing community. As the race continues in its 80th running, Adrian Peterson learned about its legacy.
Part of the Triple Crown of sprint mushing, the Open North American Championship has been running for 80 years. It's a race that has a deep history, and mushers say its growing participation is a testament to the race's legacy.
The mushers used to come in with their trapline dogs in around the state and, bring fur and have a good time and see how good their dogs were.
The race began in 1946 and has since been one of the most prestigious races in sprint mushing. But Earhart and her father say it hasn't always seen the support it does today.
In the mid-90s, he said sprint mushing was dying, and I kind of made it a personal goal that I'd fight hard to keep our races going, and especially the Open North American in Fairbanks. It's the history of our forefathers, our relatives, many of our relatives, our villages.
But the efforts of involved families and volunteers has kept the race alive and growing.
Even though we've evolved and the mushers' names might not be the late George Atla, the Roxy Wrights, we have a lot of people from Canada or even Europe with Egil Ellis's reign that he had, and Buddy Stupers right now.
I read it on paper news about the race, and then I want to come here and fight with the big mushers,
The international acclaim of the race has further perpetuated the need to compete as well.
It's really the biggest race and the biggest sprint race. So if you have fast dogs, you have to be here.
And for those that get to be part of the history,
Oh yeah, it's
it's important, and it's great to be an honor of being part of something like this.
Earhart says she hopes the race continues and that her own grandkids can help take over one day. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Temperatures from the Golden Heart City all the way into the Panhandle are feeling a bit closer to seasonal averages, something the state hasn't seen in weeks. Bailey, can we get comfortable with these temperatures, or are they going to vanish again?
Michaela, I think it's safe to say that these temperatures are here to stay, especially as we look ahead with our temperature outlook. Temperatures are remaining a little bit closer to normal all across the state. And while portions of the southern Alaska are still seeing temperatures just a couple degrees cooler than normal, it's still within arm's reach of that average. So that's good news, especially as the spring season has begun. But speaking of temperatures, as we look at Fairbanks' low temperatures this month, this is actually one of the record numbers of negative 40-degree lows that Fairbanks has had in March. So we haven't had a March with this many negative 40-degree days, 7 of those days to be exact. So that's pretty interesting, and I'm sure everybody's ready for a little bit of a warm-up. And as we look at our 24-hour temperature change, we are seeing that warm-up all across the entire state as of what we saw 24 hours ago. And of course, these temperatures are only going to climb as we progress into next week. Now for our wind forecast, we are still holding on to some of those stronger winds, especially into Kodiak and into the Mat-Su Valley. That's where winds will continue up to 50 and 60 miles per hour into the overnight hours. And for southeast, you will calm down just a little bit more for those wind gusts into the overnight hours. And for Sunday, picking up a little bit stronger winds for areas like Ketchikan. But all across the state, sunny skies are beginning to shine bright, especially starting the spring season. But for areas like the Panhandle, you are holding on to a little bit more of that wet weather. During the day, our high temperatures will reach closer to 40 degrees, which is going to allow for a little bit more of that rain. But into the overnight hours, that's when you'll drop back down again below 32 degrees. And that's when you'll see a little bit more of that snow continuing to move on through. So for tonight, those overnight lows dropping to the double digits for Anchorage and South Central, dropping to 16 degrees below zero for Fairbanks, and those high temperatures across South Central reaching up closer to those 30-degree temperatures like they should be this time of year.
A fundraiser being put on by the Fairbanks Community Food Bank aims to fill empty bellies by selling empty bowls. Alex Bengal went to the food bank to learn about the event's long history in Fairbanks.
Bowls have started to gather on the shelves of the Fairbanks Community Food Bank, with many more to come, made by local potters for a good cause. Preparations are underway for the nonprofit's 36th annual Empty Bowls event, where these donated bowls are sold to the community, funds going back to the food bank.
The potters are always here, and so you get to meet the potters that made your bowls, you get to talk with them about what the pottery community is.
The Fairbanks Potters Guild, the university's Student Ceramics Art Guild, and more come together to create these works of art, up to 1,000 a year.
Many of our potters have dedicated decades to participating in this event.
As many as 500 people are expected to show up, festivities including food and a silent auction.
I've been able to hang out with these wonderful local artists every year for decades. And the fact that they're willing to give, that's their livelihood, and they're willing to make up to 100 or 200 bowls a piece for us to be able to share, that's really special.
Every piece made with love, and that love bringing the community together to spread it around. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
The Empty Bowls event is scheduled for Saturday, April 4th in Fairbanks. Anchorage's version will be held next Saturday at the Denina Center.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.